Your Fast Start is a really fun and unique opportunity to go out there and really show something, to get a chance to win Limo Night, to get those promotions, and even most important for me, to have that great stuff for your resume. So, again, don't get me wrong. The reality is you're having a great time already, and you're going to continue to crush it here, even if you don't finish your Fast Start at 10K. But the value of going after a big goal is how it helps us develop ourselves professionally and the things that we learn about ourselves. The value of going after today and really attacking that goal, man, even if you don't hit your goal, you're going to be so much better prepared for next time, and you're going to accomplish so much more by doing it. So I want to throw out a couple quick tips. I told Zach the most important thing is all about how you share your goal. Most reps underestimate the importance of goal sharing and goal setting. Having a big, scary goal that you can offer up to people, it provides a context. It's the packaging for all the things you're already doing on your demos. In the book Good to Great, it's a really famous business book. They talk about companies that make that leap from being a good company to a great organization, and a big part of that was having this large, driving, scary mission that people can rally behind. A BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And selling 10K in your Fast Start, in your case, selling like 5K today, that's the BHAG, man. That's the big, hairy, audacious goal. And that's something that if you share it with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, people can really get behind. Again, we don't share goals to try and make people buy, just to be clear. No one is going to buy because you have a goal, but they will listen. That's the reason why it's so key. The context to your demo changes. It creates a different level of open-mindedness, and it makes your demo matter. Think about like water, okay? If I asked you for a bottle of water, or I went to a vending machine for a bottle of water, how much would I pay for that water? I mean, maybe $1, $2, depending where I'm at. But imagine if I asked someone for water and they took that same bottle of water, but they poured it in a styrofoam cup. Now, I don't know where it came from. It's just a styrofoam cup of water, okay? Well, how much would you give someone for that? How much money would you give someone for a styrofoam cup of water? And if you're like me, the answer is zero. I would give them nothing. Okay? Well, the water is the same. The content is the same. What changed was the context. Okay? Your demo is not going to change today. You're going to do the same great quality demo that's gotten you this far. You don't have to stretch. You should ask a little more confidently, show the bigger options a little more enthusiasm, take your time a bit more, call the office a little bit more. Those are small changes. Your demo is going to be the same. What's going to change is the context that your demo is wrapped around. It's that packaging, and trust me, that makes a huge, huge difference. The context of your demo is I'm going for something big, I'm going for something kind of scary, and I'm not going to hold back. Okay? Be enthusiastic, but don't be afraid to be vulnerable. It's okay to tell people, hey, Mrs. Jones, I don't know if I can hit it, but I'm working my butt off today. I leave to go out of town tomorrow, and, I thought about just taking the day off, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take every possible shot I had at this to accomplish a goal I set for myself, even though I knew it would be really, really challenging. So I don't know if I can do it, but man, I appreciate you giving me the chance with you today. Okay, so when it comes to goal setting, and I'll fly through this really quick, the idea is that your goal is an important thing. The goal matters, okay? The result of the goal is interesting to people, okay? It's genuinely interesting. The result of the result, though, is motivating. And that's something I can unpack later when we have a bit more time. But here's your goal. I'm trying to sell $10,000 in my Fast Start. Here's the result of your goal. I'll hit Limo Night. I'll make a certain amount of money. I will accomplish a really great feat for my resume. I like the resume. Okay, so let's say that the result of your goal is you'll achieve something that you'll be able to say on your resume, you accomplished a feat that less than 0.1% of all Vector people will ever do. So out of hundreds of thousands of people who've worked here over the last couple of years, your resume will say you did something that less than 0.1% of all people do. And other companies may not understand what the sales numbers mean, but they definitely understand that percentage. That's incredibly impressive. I didn't do that, okay? You can have a great career without doing that in Cutco, but that's such a powerful thing on your resume that it's worth going after. It's worth putting yourself out there. So your goal was 10K. The result of the goal was being able to say on your resume you did that thing less than 0.1% ever do. That's huge. So what's the result of the result? Okay, well, what's then the byproduct of that? That's where people miss the boat. They say, I've got a goal, and I shared why that goal matters. Okay, well, again, the result is interesting. The result of the result is motivating. If you really want to tie people in, always try to go that next level deep. So what's the result of that? Well, Mr. Jones, by doing that and having that on my resume, I know that's going to open a lot of doors for me, both inside the company and out. It's going to create opportunities for me. Mr. Jones, by having that on my resume, it's going to give me this incredible feeling of accomplishment. I've done a lot in school, I've done a lot in sports, but but I haven't had a chance to really prove myself professionally. And I just know that that's going to really arm me up for the future. And even just chasing after it, I really feel like I'm learning a lot. What's the result of the result? Mr. Jones, I come from a professional family. I come from a family of people that are in marketing and business. And I know this is something that they're proud of me just for chasing after large goals. But I'd love to be able to go to them and say, hey, thank you guys so much for how you've helped and supported me. And I just want to show you what I'm capable of. So again, the hardest part is being able to fully commit yourself to a goal without emotionally attaching yourself to the results. You have to be able to look someone in the eye and with honesty and integrity say, hey, I'm working really hard for this, but how do you handle the stress and the potential negative emotions inside of us by missing a goal? Well, it's that it is 100% possible. And in fact, it's appropriate to have a goal of going and doing something really incredible and amazing. But when you don't always hit that goal, of being 100% fine with it. Okay, and I know that sounds really challenging and backwards, but I promise you, we're not emotionally tied to our results. You're not better or worse if you hit 10K for your fast start. You're the same great guy that's working really hard. It's not so much about the result of it, but it's being the kind of person that positions yourself that way. It's working so hard that you even have a shot to do something. Most people don't. It's not being afraid to be vulnerable to other human beings who might be able to engage in the things that you're working towards. Those are the things that matter. Okay, so I do want you to care about your results, but I want you to understand that the important thing is what you're doing right now. The important thing is doing the work. And then if the results hit, that's great. And you know what? If you lay everything out and you don't quite hit there, that's okay too. It just means it wasn't your time. But I have a good feeling for you today. I've got a great feeling. So here's how it should sound when we put it all together, and then we'll wrap this video up. Okay, hey, Mrs. Jones, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Okay, fantastic. Well, I wanted to let you know that I'm working really hard towards some scholarships, have all kinds of cool stuff, blah, blah, blah. But the big thing that I'm excited about is my Fast Start contest. Now, my Fast Start usually goes for my first 10 days in the job, but in my case, I'm going to be out of town for most of that. So today's actually the last day I have in this contest. And that's the reason why it was so important I meet with you today. And that's why I'm so grateful that you guys found time for me. And I really want to acknowledge that and say thank you so much. I'm trying to sell $10,000 in my first 10 days in the job. And I'm already halfway there. So today, again, is kind of my last day. And, it's a big goal. It scares the heck out of me. Honestly, I don't even know if I can do it, but I've known some good folks who have, and I felt like it was worth it to challenge myself to really try and be my professional best. The reality is by selling 10K on my resume, I'm going to be able to say that out of a couple 100,000 people who've worked here over the years, I accomplished something that less than 1/10% will ever accomplish. And I just know having that on my resume, it's going to do so many things for me. It's going to open a lot of doors inside the company and outside. I know it's going to make my family proud. My folks, they're both in business, and I really want to show my professional competency too. And the other thing is just that great feeling of accomplishment. So I don't know if I can do it. I leave to go out of town tomorrow, but that's the reason it was so important to meet with you today. So I'm not telling you this to try and make you guys feel pressured to buy. Please don't misunderstand me. I just wanted y'all to know what I'm working so hard towards, why it was so important that I just meet with folks today, because everyone I meet with, it still helps me out a ton. And so I'm not asking you to buy something just to be nice, but God, if you guys see some stuff you like, and honestly, I think you will, Cutco's really great, but if you see some stuff you like, I hope you at least let me know. Give me a shot. That's all I'd ask for. If you see stuff you like, give me a shot to see if I can make you the deal of the century, make it worthwhile. But I promise you, no matter what today, we're gonna have a lot of fun, and I really appreciate your time. So let's get rolling. Okay, so again, the steps for this, you have to explain what your goal is, okay? You have to explain the result of your goal, what's gonna come from it, like the resume thing. You have to explain the result of the result, how it's gonna make you feel. Why does that result even matter to you? That's what motivates people. And then I think the capstone, I think the big thing at the end though, is that you've gotta give them that out. And I do think that matters. That's how you do this in a way that's really full of integrity and it's not pushy. You give them an out. Hey, Ms. Jones, I'm not saying this to try and make you guys feel pressured to buy. I'm really not. I just wanted you to know, I want to be honest with you and let you know why I'm working so hard today, why this mattered so much to me. So no matter what the outcome is today, whether you see something you like or not, hey, it still helps me out a lot. I want you to know your time is valuable and I appreciate you spending it with me. But God, give me a shot. Give me a shot. If you see stuff you like, let me try and hook you up. And honestly, I think you will because Cutco's great. Either way, though, we're going to have a lot of fun, okay? So giving them that out, it does matter. It makes a big difference. But if you'll really commit to sharing your goal, if you're not afraid to be vulnerable, if you go next level with them, and then once you're in there, but you can't do all that and then wuss out on the other stuff. Like, you got to ask for that homemaker set like a boss. You got to not be afraid to say, honestly, the complete set really is a better deal. You got to say, hey, if you think you're going to want that flatware eventually, I'll get you a bigger discount now. Can I at least give it a shot? Can I see what that would look like for you? Okay? Don't be afraid to do that. Okay? The last thing is just, you got to be all all in to the end. I don't care if going into your last demo you're at $1.25. That's fine. You're still going to be shooting for 10K. You do not change that at all. We don't lower our goals because the reality is you just don't know what's going to happen. So either way, man, it's going to be a fun day. I appreciate you. Thanks for pushing yourself. Thanks for challenging yourself. And again, remember, money is the secondary value of work. It's who you are. It's what you're becoming. That's the stuff that matters the most. So let's do it together.